Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today's video is very last minute, but I did want to give you guys a little go-to everyday makeup routine. Usually in my videos I am getting ready and talking to you guys, but I have never really gone in depth on my products or my steps. So in this video we're gonna do that. We're gonna be going through a step-by-step makeup routine and also recommending you guys some products that I have used in the past that I really love and my current products. But any product that I use or I recommend, I will be putting the name and the price on the screen. Let's start by putting our hair back. I'm just gonna put on a clip. Whew. And let's get started. We're gonna get started with a little bit of skincare. I'm not really such a deep skincare person. My skin doesn't usually break out as much, which is really good because my skin, even with no products, could be doing well on its own. Before putting any makeup products on my face, I do like hydrating it. For moisturizer, I use the Good Molecules Daily Moisturizer, and this is very lightweight. I'm actually running out of it. I just grabbed little by little and started putting it all over my face. This is honestly the only moisturizer that I've used for my makeup routine. I used to only use like the Grip e.l.f. primer, and I think that was kind of bad because now that I think about it, I could never put on makeup without a moisturizer to hydrate my face. So now that my face is nice and moisturized, we're gonna go in with sunscreen. I use the Bioma Gel Sunscreen. Sunscreen is so essential for me and any makeup routine, or even if you're not gonna wear makeup, like it's honestly the best thing you could use for your face. I have been trying out this Bioma one and it's really good in my opinion, but I did used to use the Supergoop Matte Sunscreen. That sunscreen really worked for me as well, and I find it just as equally as good. But this Bioma sunscreen is cheaper and I just didn't want to spend, I don't know how much it is. I feel like it's $32. I don't know, I just didn't want to spend it again, so I decided to try a new sunscreen. But both of them are amazing. I also like bringing it down like the extra to my neck, and also just kind of like defining my jawline. I don't know if that's the correct term, but so now we're gonna move on to our foundation. So I sometimes use this BB cream from Maybelline as kind of like an extra base foundation. I rarely use this because I mostly just go with concealer as my foundation. I use the Tower 28 concealers in the shades K-Town and BU. Another one of my favorite concealers is the Too Faced Born This Way concealers, and I think I get those in the shade Snow. Anyways, we're gonna go in first with BU, and my applicator broke, so we're just working with this. So I just apply a little dot of this under my eyes, and then I put some on my forehead, as much as I can get with this little thing because it doesn't have an applicator. And then I go in with K-Town and I just kind of fill in the rest of my face with this. This is kind of like a darker shade, so it helps even out the lighter concealer. And then I go in with my Big Beauty Blender, which my friend put me on, and I'm just gonna dab all that concealer all over my face. For me, a little goes a long way, so that's why I don't really put a lot for my base. I bring some of that extra concealer onto my eyelids. For me, this is literally the perfect coverage. Okay, now that I'm looking kind of scary and pale, we're gonna bring color into our face. For contour, I use the Makeup by Mario contour stick in the shade Light Medium. And I put some of this on my forehead, and then a dot right next to my eye, and then just a line under my cheekbone. Perfect. Now I know this does include a brush, but I really did not like the way this brush blended the contour, so I go in with the Real Technique brush 204 and just blend everything in. I'm not the best with matching brushes to what they're supposed to be used for, so I just kind of like grab a brush, and if it works for me for a certain product, it's gonna stick with that product even though it's not meant for it. So I just kind of do like my own thing. I like bringing it to like the bridge of my nose and also on my eyelids so it could work kind of like as eyeshadow. And I do a tiny little bit on my jawline just with like the little amount of excess product that the brush has, just so it's not as crazy. Okay, moving on to one of my favorite parts, which is blush. I love the Rare Beauty blush. This is in the shade Grateful, and I also love the shade Happy. So it comes out with a lot of product, so I kind of take some of it out. And it has like a slanted applicator, so I use the top and just do a little bit like that. Sometimes I do like 2, 3, just a little bit, because a little bit obviously goes a long way with this. And I like to mix it with the highlighter. This is in the shade Enlighten. This is a liquid highlighter from Rare Beauty as well. And I put a dot on top of the blush and on the bottom from where I applied it. Top, bottom. And then before blending, I go in with a little bit of the Liss or LYS cream blush in the shade Self Love. So I put a little bit on this Real Techniques brush. This is in the number 200. And then I just start blending that out, and it's gonna create such a beautiful blush shade. Grab a little more, and we're gonna do the other side. With the extra product that the brush has, I put some on my nose and again on my eyelid. Next is powder, and my favorite one right now is the One Size powder. This is in the shade Translucent. This is honestly the only powder I've ever tried. I'm gonna grab my powder puff from the brand Beauty Blender, and I'm just gonna go in with some powder and really go in first with a lot of powder under my eyes, and then from there just go in all over my face. Sometimes there may be excess powder, so I go in with this big fluffy brush and just go all over my face to really blend out that powder or just get it off. I use the NYX Buttermelt bronzer in the shade Butter Down, and I use the Real Techniques 206 brush. Now this is very pigmented, so I am always so careful of not getting so much product on the brush. You literally just want to do like a tiny tap, and that could already sometimes be a lot, so I just try to get that excess off and just really go in defining again my cheekbones and bring some color into my forehead. And again, use some of this for my eyelid as eyeshadow. Now sometimes it can look a little crazy, or if I went really overboard, I go in again with the fluffy brush and just really blend out the bronzer. Now for blush, I like using the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Dolce Pink. I'm literally almost gonna be out, but sometimes I do use the Charlie Brown and Snoopy blush. This is from the Peanuts and Profusion collab. This is like a matte blush duo, so whenever I'm feeling more like a matte look, or I don't know, like I'm just in a rush and I grab whatever blush, this is it. But for today, we're gonna go with my Milani one. This does have like glitter on it, so does the NYX bronzer. So it's a very glittery and illuminating face. And I'm just gonna go in a little bit and really bring back the blush color. Put a little bit on my nose and again on my eyelids. It's literally so gloomy outside. This is kind of like really bad lighting. Now sometimes when I feel like adding a little bit more shimmer, I go in with this Morphe palette. This is the Ready for Anything 12 pan eyeshadow palette. And I like using this little kind of like golden shade right here. I like grabbing a little bit and putting it on the inner eyelid or crease. That's what it's called. I don't know. Just putting a little bit just to add a little bit more shimmer. And I like also topping it off with this Rihanna highlighter. I don't know the name of it, but I'm obviously gonna search that up. But this is kind of like a white silvery kind of shade, and it's so beautiful. And you can't forget about a little bit on the cheek, so I go in with a tiny fluffy brush and I just go in a little bit just to add a little more glitter. So you can tell I love being glittery. Now I'm gonna curl my lashes. I use the e.l.f. eyelash curler. And for mascara, this is my favorite mascara. This is the Falsies Lash Lift by Maybelline. And it's the waterproof version, and I believe this is like the very black shade. So I like taking my time with my lashes just so I don't transfer a lot of it onto my eyelids. And also because a good lash is what tops everything off. So this kind of like takes me about 10 minutes sometimes. I don't know, I need to time myself, but I would probably say 10 minutes. I've tried so many mascaras before, all in the waterproof versions, and none of them have been able to hold the curl of my lashes, except this one. This one's my absolute favorite one. It holds them so well that at the end of the day, my lashes look phenomenal. Lashes are done, eyebrows are next. I have this random brush, which I don't know where I got it from, but it was in my drawer. So I just go in with this random brush and hairspray. I spray the brush and just brush my eyebrows so that they can stay in place. Honestly, no eyebrow gel or anything has been able to keep my eyebrows up or not make them flaky. So hairspray is just what works for me. They literally stay in place all day. This made me realize I need to pluck my eyebrows. Now we're gonna set my face with the Morphe setting mist. Now this is my absolute favorite part. I have lots of lip products that I use, and I've never really stuck with just one lip combo, so it changes almost every single day. But I'm gonna be showing you guys all these that are my favorite lip products. Starting off with Summer Fridays, I like the cherry and the vanilla one. For lipsticks, I like using the e.l.f. lipstick in the shade Effortless and the Dior lipstick in the shade Rue Dior 720. For lip liner, I use the NYX lip liner in the shade Mahogany, and also I love the Makeup by Mario lip liners, but there's one specific shade, I can't remember it, but I love using that one too. I'll put it on the screen. For gloss, the e.l.f. lip oil in the shade Crystal Baller, another Peanuts collab. This is the Lucy Water Lip Tint. And then sometimes I like using this Makeup by Mario, which I got in a birthday set. This is like a lip serum in the shade Rosewood Glow. That was literally a lot of lip products, but they're just all my favorites. I switch my lip combo using all those products like almost every single day. So I just had to show you guys all of them. But right now I'm gonna go in with the NYX lip liner and just line my lips. I'm using the Dior lipstick, and I just put it on my bottom lip and just kind of like transfer that into my top lip. It's kind of like a reddish color. And lastly, the e.l.f. lip oil, which I believe this was not its shade because it has had a lot of like my red lipstick on the applicator, and it just, yeah, I don't think it's the right shade, but, and there you go. This is the final look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day, morning, evening, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye guys!